Carper, your new digital eyesight kind of flashes on as there's a doctor in your face, snapping his fingers. And behind him is the mercenary crew that you were injured with. You've had this happen to you a few times throughout the night, but this is the most distinct. It's not foggy and dreamlike like it was before. And now, for the first time, you can tell exactly who you are looking at. And there's somebody bringing you to consciousness, and as your eyes open, it opens like a television going on, and you don't have like a natural vision anymore. Instead, it's like a high def digital vision. But for the rest of you on the way here, the city of Greyhop has erupted in violence since the early morning, and it's also Captain Max. It's interfered with your sleep. You didn't get much last night because you had green explosions taking place not far from where you live, and shortly after that, it was sirens and gunfire and explosions, and that's pretty much been the case all morning long. The news has been a buzz on the way over about a powerful gang leader getting assassinated or kidnapped in the middle of the night, and that has just unleashed chaos all across this city. So while you were traveling from your headquarters to this sort of shifty-looking cybernetics medical facility, there's been checkpoints that weren't there before in the city, and everybody is kind of on high alert.
So, Corporal, how you feeling?
Alive?
It's not really.
So, sorry to interrupt. Just one more thing, David. As you're looking at David Carper, he now has his skin has been replaced, and on his face is like 4 diamonds because there's seams going out like that. The texture looks like a car upholstery kind of, but it's black on the top and the bottom, and it's like a beige green on the 2 sides.
Beige green, Doctor. What in the hell have you done?
We're not a medical facility. I did the best I could.
You couldn't make him the same color? He's a goddamn two-tone.
He's camo.
Yeah, he's fine.
It's camo.
He's fine.
It'll work.
Corporal Carpenter, you happy?
Yeah,
are you happy that you're alive?
Yes, I'm very happy I'm alive.
Great. Grab your purple heart. You're apparently your plushy squeezy toy, and let's go. We got something to go take care of.
All right. What'd you guys do?
Hey, your bill.
I think you look cool.
I haven't seen
Sergeant McCool, make sure you keep berating him, but we got to get to the side of town over here so that we can talk with Company X.
Yes, sir.
The doctor steps aside so everybody can leave his office, and as he does, he kind of just tells you that you're going to feel a discomfort from your new skin for the next couple days, but it'll get better, and pretty soon.
I feel fine. Oh, him.
Yeah, the guy that just had full body surgery.
Sergeant Carper, I am sorry to say, number one, I'm going to have to confiscate that squeak toy.
And number two, who paid?
No.
You never know when you're going to run into a dog boy.
Corporal, if you're going to find a woman, she's going to be special.
Hope so.
Carry on.
All right, let's get going.
So
I want to get out of here without too many people looking at me. So
the walls are a toothpaste sort of green blue. Fluorescent lights are kind of flickering. The floors don't look like they get swept nightly. And you head down a quick staircase that you came up. And going out into the office, there is a pretty heavy-set woman with a big beehive hairdo, and she's kind of just plopped down into a chair, taking care of all of the bills. There's a few pretty decrepit people kind of hanging around. Some of them look like they're crazy. And there's televisions up in the corner of the ceiling, and this is where you would take care of any sort of bills.
It would be. I'm going to keep walking.
If I can get close to Carper, I want to touch his face. I was going to go, whoa, what does that feel like?
It feels synthetic.
Ooh, weird.
It does have the feeling of a car upholstery, not like a fuzzy one, but like the part that you lift up. It always has that texture on it, very hard to see unless you're looking at it close, and it's got that sort of leathery pleather feeling.
That is seriously crazy, Carper.
Yeah, you're telling me. You should feel it from. Well, never mind. I ain't going to finish that sentence.
Hang on. I have a gameplay question. Since this skin is thicker and more resilient than normal skin, does he get extra SDC?
That makes sense. I guess it would have like a leather armor, probably quality
Well,
to it.
I don't know about all that, but just a little bit, just to make him feel better about being a two-tone coupe.
A little bump. Yeah, I can see that. I can see an added SDC. We'll figure that out when it comes up.
Okay.
But in the meantime, the woman looks over at you. She drops her magazine in her lap, and her eyes just start grilling you as you enter the room.
I will jump on this fat grenade.
Okay, because I keep pointing to Sergeant McCool.
I keep walking.
Yeah, and I walk up to the angry woman. Ma'am, I'm here to cover our bill.
You're gonna need a ticket. And she points, and there's like a little deli ticker with the paper coming out with the number 77 sitting there.
Ma'am, I will pay extra to cut in line.
She looks around a little bit and then, asks how much extra.
Well, seeing as total bill is going to come around 10,000 credits, I think that it'd be about 1,000 credits.
She looks at the bill and then looks up at you and gives you a kind of a peculiar look, and then folds up the bill and says, "That'll be fine." And as that exchange is happening, the televisions up in the corner sort of catch your eye, and you see a reporter interviewing a homeless man who's got a dirt bike set up in front of him. And he is just kind of yelling really excitedly into the camera. He's saying like, there was a van and the van turned into a DB, but it wasn't a DB. It was a man dressed as a DB, and he killed everybody. And then he gave me this dirt bike. And if you need a dirt bike, 5,000 credits. I'm at the underpass. And right away, the reporter pulls the stick away from him and goes, "Back to you, Gwyneth." And it cuts real quick back to a woman doing local news for Greyhop. And she closes whatever segment they were doing with word that the authorities are looking for this man. And it cuts to a still frame of like a red light camera looking down into the road. And you just see a guy wearing a mask from like the nose up on a motorcycle. And it's like a digital blur, so you can't really make out who it is. And it's also because he's driving at a certain speed, adds another layer of blurriness where you can't really make out who it is, but you just see a man in the middle of the night racing through an intersection. And the woman is just looking at you pretty impatiently.
Well, I will give her the money.
She's got the little credit thing right in front of you.
I will scan my credit device.
The company credit card, of course.
A little bar goes across, and then it signifies with a green light that the credits have been transferred from your card to the device. And then she immediately just pulls the magazine back up in her lap like you're not even there.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Thanks for the service.
They finally come rolling outside.
10%.
Rolling outside, the sun hits you with much nicer than the fluorescent lights and the downtrodden, crummy cybernetic.
Am I able to feel the warmth of the sun on my new skin?
You're not able to feel the warmth of the sun on your
When you do, it'll be bad.
own skin. And again, the lights when you exit the building, the eyes adjust to the bright lights right away. So you see that take place immediately. Like there's just this lens effect that dims everything, not enough to make it seem like you're wearing sunglasses, but not just enough to keep the glare out.
Corporal Cooper.
Yes.
I have taken upon myself to augment your eyes.
I appreciate that.
you should be able to switch to infrared mode. Now, my mama told me do not do that in the sun. So I do not recommend it right now.
Yeah, I think that would be a bad thing.
But at
Just to let
nighttime,
you
you
know.
got to do it.
Hey,
You
hey,
got to do that. That'd
Get
be
in
cool.
truck. We can talk about it on the way.
I want to
Yes,
see
sir.
it.
Truck that
Good truck.
you confiscated from the previous job that was in the road that you managed to tow back when you still had an APC driver is now parallel parked correctly in front of the medical facility. You enter it, yada, yada, yada. Immediately, as soon as you turn it on, again, the news just hits you about violence all over the place and speculation on whether or not the leader of the Hammer was assassinated or kidnapped, and worries about, terrorist attacks and all sorts of other things.
I am angling all of the air conditioner vents to me.
Gentlemen,
Who's this Hammer? Have you guys heard of the Hammer? Is it a group?
now here's the thing. Here's the thing, Private. Civilians cannot be trusted in a crisis. They lose their minds. They lack discipline and training. So you too will be careful. They will destroy you for a scrap of food. Do not let them get you unawares. Yes, Corporal.
Roger that.
What happened to our? Where's our other driver?
Let's just keep going.
Okay.
Some things are classified.
Who
So
is driving?
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder how he's doing. He wasn't looking so good.
he's doing great,
He wasn't looking so
wonderfully.
good.
Let's just let's not ask questions. Sergeant McCool, get control of your people.
Yes, sir.
It's
Some things are classified, gentlemen. Captain says it's classified. It is classified. You do not need to know.
Who is driving this vehicle, by the way? You are. And all right, I guess all of you could fit inside of it. There's the front seat and the extended cab, so you'd have two people in the back unless anyone wants to ride in the.
I'll hop in the back with I guess Corey Carper, but I'm going to get down really low, keep my eyes if there's windows, because I'm watching the people around, because I'm afraid they might be hungry.
Well, there is no congestion in traffic right here. It is a pretty downtrodden area. Most people that live in this area don't even have vehicles. So the
Private, that
vehicles
is
that are parked around
spectacular.
really just sit there, or they don't even run. But as you pull off and get out of this area, you start to see the city of Greyhop kind of all around you again as you jump on little highways and rotaries. And it is a industrial city, a blend of brick buildings that usually maybe don't really go much higher than 12, 13, 14 stories. And then there's a few more modern structures that are usually in obsidian that kind of rise in amidst all of that. But the city is modern, and it is nestled in between Tolkien, Northern Gun, and the Coalition, south of what was Wisconsin.
Okay.
My route is going to be actually pretty direct on this one. Main roads, and keeping an eye out for anything that looks suspicious while I'm driving, but I'm not taking any sort of back roads.
Well, you take the road that's most obvious, and as you come off of a rotary, now you get into a point where there is a little congestion. And since you are driving with some alertness with your surroundings based on what's been happening, you do just the white van that you end up behind as you get off this rotary and start to merge into a congestion of traffic does start to catch your eye, simply because it is a van and stands out a little bit more from all of the other vehicles. And as that rotary merges into this highway lane, it goes down maybe about another 100 feet, and then you can see a protest. It looks like a small protest on the corner, and across from that there are a few coalition soldiers directing traffic, even though they don't have technical jurisdiction over the city, but they have been invited in as consultants, and now you kind of see them setting up checkpoints and participating in.
Hey, everybody,
I really recommend we stay away from the protests, sir. They could be pacified at any time.
They could be hungry too. Good point.
Did
stay alert. Everybody stay alert.
anybody think to bring my weapons? Or do I have my weapon still?
I thought all of that was left in that garage that we had to park the mech and the APC in.
Yeah, they're all in the office, Corporal. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to take my mech through the city for some reason. It's weird. But no, I'm gonna follow the main route. Okay, there's a difference between a backup and a stoppage. If it's just kind of slowed down back up with the coalitions directing traffic, I'm following the route. If it looks like it's stopped up ahead, and if I need Warren to stand up in the back and look ahead to get a little bird's eye view, please do so.
It does stop. So the traffic is crawling towards that intersection, maybe 1-2 cars at a time, and everybody gets to pull forward. And then there is kind of a congestive mess because of protest.
First turn that I can take out here, I don't care if it's left or right, I'm taking out of here.
Well, as you continue on down, all of a sudden you see a guy start to crawl out of the passenger side seat window of the van. Bald head, pretty muscular. He's got tattoos all
Rifle
over
ready.
him. And he's got a skull tattoo on his face, similar to like the Dead Boy symbol. And a gun comes out with him. And he leans right over the top of the van and he just starts laying into the protesters. This is the car directly in front of you. He's firing over about 4 cars.
All right. I'm driving one-handed.
You are stuck
Boom,
behind
boom,
him.
boom.
There's sorry, what? Say that again?
Hold on, let me get the actual bullet out of this gun. I don't want to. Got it. There we go. Oh no, So I had, like I said, I was driving one-handed, drew my gun. I'm shooting through the windshield. It's pop, pop, pop.
All right. Roll to strike.
Oh crap! I didn't grab dice.
Oh my god.
I know.
Just assume you roll a 20.
Meanwhile, everyone else in the vehicle does see one of the men that's holding up a sign. I don't know if any of you can read, but there's a sign that says "Keep Greyhop independent," and right away he gets clipped by a round of bullets and falls to the ground. Right after that, his companion puts out his hand like this, and you see sort of a shimmering field come up over him and his companions. But Max,
I got a 2. I got a whole freaking 2.
So your windshield all of a sudden explodes, and the gunfire goes out of it and starts clipping into the corner of the van, into like the taillight, blowing off pieces of it, which then accelerates and pulls and takes a hard right. And as it pulls out, you can see the guy that was shooting crawl back into the van. And once they stop obstructing your view, you see the coalition soldiers are pulling out NBC rifles and they're just lighting up the protesters now.
Wait, the coalition's shooting the protesters?
Yes. As soon as the force field went up, they started reacting and started shooting at the protesters. It doesn't take long for the force field to fall. And before long, you see about 4 people get shot into the streets pretty graphically, considering the coalition is using high energy weapons, and pieces of bodies get blown apart. And
sliding the firearm underneath the seat.
It's settled very quickly after the force field falls. It's settled very quickly.
Did that guy cast a magic? Was that magic?
Yes, Corporal. I'm sorry. Yes, Private. I think it was.
Crap! I flip around on my knees and I'm looking back, and I'm like, "Holy cow! That was magic! That was magic!"
No. I just shot through the windshield. It's okay.
Meanwhile, they start waving you through as they make their way over to the protesters. One of them that did the most damage starts making his way over, and the other one that was further back kind of swoops in slowly to take his place and just keep waving you through as if nothing just happened.
Oh man!
He does a little cop wave as you head through and starts looking at other cars. And before long, you can see off in the distance the van speeding away. The coalition soldiers actually don't look like they're that interested in pursuing. They're more interested in the people that just raised a force field that have just been shot down in the streets. And they, casually go back to directing traffic. So you pull out, you can see the van just speeding ahead of you, and before long pulls off the road.
I don't want to speed after it.
Why aren't they chasing them? I'm still looking out back the window.
I don't want to speed after it, but I am following as long as I can before I have to make a decision.
So, again, you see them a couple probably about 2,000 feet up, because when they turn off, and the traffic is a little lighter, there is some weaving in and out to do if you were to pursue. But before long, they pull off the side, off the highway, and into the city into the forest of brick buildings. And
Sir, this could easily be classified as off mission.
Yeah, well, we're not on a mission right now. We're heading to get a mission.
See, we get them.
Yeah, I don't want to get involved in this anyway. This could be something bigger. Let's go to where we need to be right now. But damn it, I wanted to follow them.
Yes, sir. Gentlemen, calm down.
Is there
our mission? This is not our mission. We are not following them. It will get us into danger that is not being paid for. That's the least fun danger.
Where there's danger, there's money.
Not if we follow that van, son. All right.
Not nice at all.
Following your lead, Cap.
But yes, well, we're gonna head to Corporation X, but I'm gonna keep looking over.
so, at the last moment, you see your final chance to pursue them go past the vehicle, and none of the other vehicles seem to even really notice anything peculiar. Just look like a quick little crazy driver. Then he pulls off to the side. You're heading actually back to your headquarters where you're expecting Trader Company X.
Okay, so it's there. All right.
And it's a casual, event-free drive from where you are back to your headquarters, which is conveniently located just a block away from the front gate.
All right, I'm ready to go again. All right, we'll park outside the front gate. Got to have one outside the gate just in case. And we'll walk in.
Very good, sir.
Go to the office and Sergeant, I don't know. I think we should have followed him.
Sir, that would have put the lives of your men in danger for no profit whatsoever. I cannot recommend that action, sir.
Yeah. I know.
If the government of this city decides to pay us money to go find them, I will follow you into hell, sir.
You think that gang member guy was he looked like a gang member? Was he a hammer?
I do not know, and I'm not paid to care. Neither are you.
Well, it looked like he had a coalition markings on him.
Homemade.
Whole thing, yeah. I'm not sure.
Corporal Carper.
The Hammer is a pretty
Please
well-known
collect your
gang
stuff.
that you would all be somewhat familiar with, no matter what city you existed in. They are a gang of human supremacists. They are pretty brutal, pretty violent, and they are in similar thinking as the Coalition, despite representing a criminal underground.
Okay.
Now, as you round the last corner to get back to your headquarters. As soon as you do round the corner, you see a little convoy of black vehicles parked directly in front of your office. It looks like there is sort of a luxurious vehicle in between. You see it's got two little flags coming up from the headlights with Coalition symbolism. And then there's two more military Humvee-looking vehicles strategically parked in front and behind that vehicle. And in front of your office, you see two fully dressed Coalition soldiers, like statues right in front of the door.
Private Warren?
Yeah.
I want you to hang out here. If anybody asks what you're doing, be prepared for anything weird. But if anybody asks what you're doing, you're looking for a new windshield.
Gotcha.
Corporal Carper?
Yes, sir.
Hang on to Sergeant McCool.
All right.
He'll push you in the right direction. I'm saying it now, Sergeant McCool. You should have followed the van.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't like this. All right. Trying to pulling down my ripped shirt. My smoking gun back. Like trying to look like I'm important and stand a little taller. It's hot out here. And
quick question: is this at our headquarters?
Yes.
Or
okay.
okay.
Our office space. I don't know if we really have a headquarter. Our office space we rent out at a strip mall somewhere.
I'm gonna get out of the truck and look at the
Depending on how cheap Max is, he might sleep there too. We haven't established that yet.
Sure, why not? Yeah. Either that or in the garage with my mech. Do they allow that? Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna walk forward and Just wait to see if
Follow
somebody
the captain's
stops
lead,
me.
They don't even take notice of you. And you can see that there are people waiting in the vehicle, the more military-looking vehicle, in front of the more Rolls-Royce-looking thing. And as they see you coming, they don't seem to react at all.
Interesting. Hey, Carper, you're a scout, right?
Yes, sir.
Great. Get to the roof.
Alrighty.
And just
I'll-
anything anomalous. Keep Sergeant McCool informed.
All right. I'll collect my weapons and head to the roof.
Sergeant McCool.
Well, actually, you're not allowed to have any. You won't be able to get your weapons out of the APC because you're not allowed to have high energy weapons inside city limits. The same would be true for armors. That's all considered contraband and illegal.
SDC weapons?
You can have SDC weapons.
Okay.
Yeah, that's legal.
Good. Otherwise, I'm just like flashing it, going, I got my.
Yeah, no. You got your gun.
Okay. Well, that gives me my bow and arrows and my rifle.
So you're gonna make your way up a nearby rooftop.
Yeah.
Okay, and
I'm gonna be sitting on top of our rooftop if I can get up there.
all right. We'll get to that when it becomes more relevant. In the meantime,
Sergeant McCool, keep your eyes open. This does not feel right at all.
Yes, sir. I do have detect ambush, so I'm going to look for the most likely place that we could be sterilized, and make sure that neither I or the captain are standing there.
well, you glance around at all of the different places that you yourself would set up an ambush, and the places where David Carper will probably be setting up something of himself, something of an ambush himself, and you don't see any movement, any hiding people, any snipers, anybody taking up any sort of position that threatens anybody. It seems like they just have the immediate area locked down by virtue of their firepower.
Weren't those two in front of the door?
Yes, on each side of it.
Before we get, I don't have a great visual of this, but I'm just assuming we walk in, go down a hallway a little bit, and we got a nice, relatively decent sized office space.
Yeah, you probably go to front office basically as soon as you walk in, and then there's probably some side rooms, a bathroom.
When we get to where like we were meeting before, well, David was in the hospital. I'm gonna stop Sergeant McCool and just be like, be prepared for anything behind this door. I might be paranoid, but I've seen too many of those old holovids.
I understand, sir. I will figure out a way to head in the back for some stupid reason and check everything out.
All right, and open the door and going into the office.
So walking through the two guards that are standing there, as you open the door, the first thing that you see is across the office on a window opposite the side of the building, you see a very stern, Tarkin-esque looking officer, coalition officer. He's got his hands behind his back, and he's not even looking at you. He's just looking out the window. And as you come into this room, all your belongings are there. It looks undisturbed. And there's also two fully dressed, armored coalition soldiers on the inside of this door.
Well, at least I was right.
And as you make your way further
Make me feel better.
you hear him speak as he's looking out this window. And he doesn't even turn to face you, but he just says, "Most unfortunate. A city of Greyhop's powerful industrial potential brought to its knees by criminal enterprise." And then he takes his finger and he wipes it across the windowsill. And you can see that as he does that, there's a line that goes through like the dust. And he kind of just does this like he's inspecting and then flicks it aside, still staring out the window.
Is there something I can help you with?
As a matter of fact, there is something you can help me with. And then he turns finally to face you. And as he does, he says your name, Captain Max.
You know me. You are?
My name is Colonel Treadmore. And my
Yes,
role here in Greyhop is to make its politics more black and white.
I understand. What can we do to help? And how much is it going to cost you?
Well, it's not going to cost me anything because you are significantly indebted to the coalition. But if you have a certain eagerness to pay back that debt, then we will get it taken care of in earnest. So, and then he pulls out a map and looks at you and says, your team has experience with rifts, I'm told.
Yes. I'm glaring. By the way, I'm glaring at McCool right now.
Captain, I will go in the back and stow my gear. Colonel, I will let you continue your negotiations with the person in charge.
He nods slightly and he just says, son.
And I will go in the back to stow gear. I'm quoting now. You can't see it, but it's air quotes. And I'm actually going to search the back room to make sure there's no other surprises back there.
So as you make your way back there, it doesn't. It looks like they probably swept through because the doors that are usually closed were open, but it doesn't look like anything was disturbed after that.
All right. Well, I'm going to make everything right. Lock all the doors that need to be locked. Blah blah blah.
There's not much to it, but you do that, and as you can hear him doing that in the background, he turns back to you and says, "Captain Max, 15 miles northeast of here is a village of demon summoning, DB sympathizing vermin, and I am going to have you and your team go there and exterminate them. I want this village, which serves no tactical advantage to the city of Greyhop. It is not a fuel depot or a trading hub. It is a gathering point for DBs and men of magic to conspire against humanity, and I want the entire place destroyed."
Can I hear this from the back room?
You'd probably be able to hear it. He's not trying
I have an erection.
He lays a map out and then takes 1 foot back, 1 step back, and you can see that everything is already marked. It's already a mucked up map, and you can see about 15 miles out, he's got a point marked on this map where there's this village. And he goes on to explain that the people of this village, who are under the leadership of 2 powerful psionics, have opened a very substantial rift and are now amassing some DB force, which he wants eliminated entirely. He doesn't even want the village there by the time you leave.
I can, we'll close the rift. I will not kill unarmed combatants. It will not happen. That is not a line I will cross. Anybody who takes up arms, magic, alien ray guns against us.
Do you know how to close rifts, Captain Max?
We did it once. Maybe we can do it again. But no, I want to be very clear with you, the coalition, anybody else. I don't kill unarmed civilians or non-combatants. It's not going to happen. Other than that, I have no problems with what you want done. I'm not going to agree to something and then lie to you. I'm going to be upfront with you on this. Add it to my debt. I don't care. But I will not kill non-combatants.
And what would be your rank in the coalition, Buck McCool?
Sergeant Major.
It would have been Sergeant Major. So he addresses you, Sergeant Major.
Sir.
If you would, sort of summoning you into the room, and then turns his face slightly back to you. You can tell that he's irritated. He doesn't get told no very often, clearly. And you can tell that he's just very sort of short now in the way that he doesn't look like he's in a good mood anymore. Not that he did when he first came in.
Yes, Colonel.
I hope that you can help your comrade here find his way. This is a city that has opened up a rift that is 25 feet tall. Our scouts have told me that they are amassing men from another dimension. They are being armed by men from another dimension.
Yes, sir. I would not hesitate to destroy the entire place, turn it to glass, sir. But I am a non-commissioned officer in this unit. I follow the commands of my captain. He is my direct chain of command. If he
That's very
orders it, I
interesting.
will kill them.
You
If he
have
does
been
not,
given
I
a
will not.
sizable loan by the coalition.
What?
You have been given a sizable loan by the coalition, and in order to pay it back, I expect you to do what you are told. So, 15 miles out, there's a village. I've told you what they do, and I told you what they're up to. We are going to provide you with a nuclear device. I expect this nuclear device to be placed at the bottom of that rift and to be detonated in order to destabilize it. What happens to the village is of no concern.
Understood.
Gives you this slight little look and then turns. He looks at you, Buck McCool, once, and he says, I'm sure we can count on you, son. And then
Thank you, Colonel.
leaves out the door. And as he does, right afterwards, the two men inside aren't carrying rifles. They both have energy pistols, two of them kind of Captain Rexed at their waist. And as soon as he leaves, they, one after the other, also vanish outside.
Would I have had time to do something while they were in there?
Yeah.
I would like to have cleaned out all the glass shards and such. Make sure my submachine gun is on the floor in the back seat. Kind of look over our truck and try to, if I can, saunter my way over and take a look at that really nice, fancy vehicle with the two flags.
Yep.
I want to get real close to it, see if I see any scuff marks or.
So there's dirt all over the side of it.
Interesting.
And you know, the wheels are dirty. There's dirt on the side, and there, you know, it looks like it's been off-road.
If the soldiers give me the stink eye, I just wave at them and go, "Nice ride."
They do give you the stink eye before long.
This is cool.
They
just
and they don't respond to that.
Okay. I just walk around with my blindfold and look at it like that, and I see if I can get a real good read and maybe identify it later. Or maybe have. Does it look familiar?
It looks familiar.
Okay, good to know.
After David gets done with whatever he wants to get done with, so we're not skipping him. Sergeant Buck McCool, do you still have the link to everybody? I'm not wearing my helmet right now.
Yes, sir.
Call him back in.
Yes,
Please.
sir. I'm gonna get on my link. Soldiers.
Yep. Right here.
Corporal Carp goes, yes. Okay.
He's
Please come on back to the main office. We have a new job.
Yes, Sergeant.
On my way.
What?
Did Carper see anything other than what we already noticed?
So,
Carper.
Carper, you have been running around, not running, you've been walking around the back buildings trying to find a way up. But being a man of the wild, you literally have no idea what you're looking for. The fire escapes seem to be suspended far enough up where you can't get to them, and you actually have no idea how you're going to get to the roof.
So I didn't make it to the roof?
No.
Corporal Carper, did you see anything from your sniper's vantage point?
Hold on one sec. I have the climb skill. Would that have helped?
It's mostly not being able to find a way up that looks super safe. You're also not super familiar with, you know, urban city climbing, being a wilderness scout, and it doesn't look like there's any sensible way to get to the top from where you're looking at.
Negative. I haven't seen anything from my vantage point.
Very well, Corporal. Come on back to the main office. We have a job.
Do I pass that coalition leader as I go through the door somewhere in the hallway or not?
If you entered with Max, you would have seen him.
Well, I would have entered like he's calling me in now, is what I'm saying. Sergeant McCool.
Oh yeah, you would have seen him as you entered.
Okay. I'm going to try to get a good look at him.
He leaves first, and as he does, the two guards come out behind him. And when he turns, you know, first he's looking this way, and then as he turns and kind of faces in the same direction, you know, it's a sight that you've seen before.
Okay. I stand to the side, kind of halfway salute, walk by, smile, go on.
He doesn't even pay any attention to you. He very crisply and purposefully marches right to the Rolls Royce, extended luxury looking vehicle.
Yep.
One of the guards goes over, opens the door for him. He doesn't even have to do that. He sits inside, they shut it. And then everybody kind of gets up into vehicles, and before long, one after the other, they pull out.
Okay. I head into the office with Captain and Sergeant.
I wish I had it here. I got one of those squeezy toys.
Oh,
Those stress balls. Yeah, but it's not doing that. Well, yeah, once they're here, it's like, all right, gentlemen, we got our mission.
sounds good.
So what's up?
Well, I'm going to be up front with you. It's going to be a little deviation to this mission. I'm not going to lie to you guys. They want us to raise a town. And the reason for raising the town is actually a pretty good reason. I think we're going to end up raising most of that town. However, before we do that...
We're going to need more people. You got to build buildings, right, to raise the town up?
No. We're going to burn it to the ground.
What?
Just-
Why?
Well, there's a rift, and DBs are coming in and arming people, and it's magic and psionics and all types of weird stuff that we don't like.
Magic. We should kill the DBs, I think.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Yes, 100%. We're going to close that rift. We are going to kill the DBs, and we're going to kill any sympathizers, or at least imprison. Our orders were pretty much to kill any sympathizers. However, and I'm being upfront, this is the order I am going to break. And I need to know that Sergeant McCool, you understand that we are breaking these orders.
Sir, the only orders I care about are yours.
Very well. We are not going to kill non-combatants. Other than that, and if you can't tell, don't take the time to figure it out. It's an enemy until it's not. We have to think that way for now. They're DBs. But women, children, young adults that just trying to make their way in this world. This is why I need David.
Yeah.
And Warren.
Count on me, sir.
I want you to infiltrate first. Get a lay of the land. You got 48 hours.
Ooh. Okay.
48 hours. Can you two work together? Sergeant McCool, do you trust them to do this?
Sir, together they have the skills to get this done and the muscle to keep them alive. I believe they can, sir.
Then whatever directions you want to give them that don't countermand mine, go for it. I've said my piece on this. I want to know the lay of the land. They got 48 hours, and then we are going to comply with our mission.
Yes, sir. Gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
We are going to a town 15 miles from here. In that town are aggressors and a giant, dirty, magical portal leading to a hell dimension. Our job is to kill the horrible DB menace and close this doorway to hell. Now, you heard the captain's orders. No women, no children, unless they attack you. Then they are dirty DB scum.
Okay.
Now, you will be infiltrating this town. Questions at the end, Warren. You'll be infiltrating this town. Your job is to get what he calls the lay of the land. That means we need to know where important things are. Where they keep their food, where they keep their guns, where they keep that giant 25-foot portal. You will stay hidden. You will work in the night. You will mark on your map everything that is important, and then 7 things that you think might not be important, but will end up being important. And then you will return to a Zulu that will be determined when we get close to meet up with us and give us all the information. And you will do this while remaining alive. Do you understand?
Yes, Sergeant.
Understood. Yeah, especially that last part.
Excellent. Corporal Cooper, your eyes will be very important. I did not give them to you because I like you. I gave them to you because you are useful and loyal. And these are things I enjoy. Private Zan, you had a question.
Yes. So you said if they attack us, we should take care of them. But I have a question because you told me the people in this town might attack you for food. Maybe they'll
Yes.
just be hungry.
Yes.
Should I consider that?
That is a hostile action. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Very
Excellent. Now that we know cannibalism is bad, does anyone have any other questions?
Do we know what kind of DBs they are?
No. That is one of the things that you are going to find out for us.
But they got magic, and we've seen already magic is bad.
Specifically, mark anybody that you can confirm is using magic. Also, mark anybody that you can confirm is a DB.
Sir, how are they going to mark these individuals? I mean, do they have paint? I didn't
Well,
bring paint.
They have minds. They can say, hey, the person that lives there.
Oh,
I don't want to get that instructional with them. They get confused.
Okay, I got it. Watch this. Gentlemen, if you see anyone using magic, if you see anyone using demon mind powers, if you see anyone casting demonic spells, remember them, write down their significant features on a piece of paper and bring that as part of your briefing.
Hey, Warren.
Yeah.
Can you write?
No, we'll be fine.
Okay.
I have a really good memory.
You were hired
All right.
because you are professionals.
Right.
Please be so.
Right.
Will do. All right. Should we head out now, or are we going to all go somewhere close by? And
You got 48 hours. I'll leave the rest to you and McCool. I have to talk with him on my own.
okay.
All right, gentlemen,
Mhm.
prepare your sacks. You need enough food and water for 2 days. You need materials to take down notes and a map to mark beautiful, wonderful, important installations.
Okay.
Get everything ready. You have 20 minutes.
20 minutes. All right. I'm going to head out. I'm going to get my motorcycle. Carper, you want to ride on my motorcycle? You want to go head out the majority, and we'll stop a few miles away and we'll hide it somewhere, and then we'll head in. I mean, at the cover of night, of course. What do you think?
He's muted.
Yeah.
He also lost power.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. What motorcycle do you ride?
It's a highwayman. Can I put him on the back of that or not?
I'm sure you can figure it out if you were going to drive. Depends on how fast you want to drive. I don't think it's made for two. If I can
Wait a
picture that
second.
one.
2 men on a motorcycle. Corporal Carper, you found your special woman.
No, I'm driving.
Oh no! What kind of surgery did we give him?
Well, let's go get. As we're heading out, I assume David's coming with me. I'm like,
Yeah, I'll walk with. I'm walking with you.
we get a map, and he said, "What else? Got to write some stuff down. So probably pen or pencils. We should pick those up and some extra paper." I'm not sure how we're going to do this. I can draw pretty good, actually. I've not been just reading comics. I've been studying art.
Before they go into their shenanigans out in town, I'd like to have a few minutes. Which way am I pointing? There we go with the master sergeant over here.
Yes, sir.
But I'll wait till they're done.
Hey, you guys, it's
this
all
one.
happening at the headquarters. So he just went and got his motorcycle. Are you guys still at the headquarters, or are you
Yeah.
meeting him at the gate or headquarters?
Headquarters.
Sure. I figured we are we gone? Are we heading out, or do we need to come back to them?
You got your I guess you got your motorcycle and your back, we'll say. And while he's doing that, I guess he's talking to McCool. Is that right?
Sure. I didn't want to interrupt that session that they had going on there. That's all.
You still have to get your items and stuff, but you have to bring them back to the headquarters.
Okay.
We're all going to head out together, and then
Okay.
you're going to split off later.
Sounds good. Okay, that's what I thought, but okay. Sounds good.
Sir,
All right. Where do we go to get pencil or pens and paper? I don't know where we could get that, but I don't really have any of that. But I have a few credits. I could buy some, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. And I have my own motorcycle, so we don't need to be doing that whole nut the butt stuff.
That was never the intention, but okay.
Well, if you put two people on a motorcycle, if you put two guys on a motorcycle,
Right. It does get cozy. All right. Fair enough. I gather my stuff, all my stuff. I did keep my vibro knife in though I came in town, so I grabbed that too. And all my gear.
Right, I'm grabbing my gear too.
Yeah. Sounds
So
good.
it takes you both about 25 minutes with some haste to reach your places of residence to get all of your stuff.
They're late.
Go as fast as we could, sir.
No, that's on me. I said 20 minutes, and I should have factored in this is a crappy town. I mean, I'm not gonna let them know that they're late.
Right there. So while they're doing that, have a seat, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Two things I need to know.
Sir.
First one is how in debt are we?
I was told you didn't want to know that, sir.
You might have been told incorrectly because I don't like being beholden to anybody.
Very well.
And while I support the coalition, I don't like a colonel coming in here and basically holding my cock to a fire and saying this is what we're going to do.
Yes, sir. Well, to answer your question, sir, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that in petty cash, we have 15,500 credits left.
Carry on.
The bad news is that we are significantly more in debt to the CS, sir.
How significant?
189,000 credits, sir.
Whatever I'm holding in my hand.
I'm sorry. Wait. What was that?
8 million credits.
8 million. Okay. Excuse me. 8 million credits, sir.
Came from.
Okay, so from sitting in this position as a captain, I'm now sitting in this. Okay, that's good to know.
Good news is, sir, our slate can be wiped clean with one mission.
I'm sure it can. And that leads to the second question. I know is anybody former coalition, Sergeant?
Me, sir. And I don't believe Zan or Carper are former coalition. They are mercenaries through and through, sir.
But my question is, are you former coalition or are you coalition? I don't mean in sympathies. I mean in who you take direction from.
I take direction from you, sir.
Well, you take direction from the money. I get that. But that's okay.
Well,
so
as
do
long
I.
as you're paying me, sir, our contract is solid.
Very well. And before they come back, I really want to know, do you trust Private and Corporal to handle this? Because you were giving them some pretty specific instructions that I think they should have been able to figure out on their own.
I understand, sir, but it is not my job to leave ambiguity out in the open. I just learned that word, sir. Ambiguity. Very good word.
You used it
I'd like
correctly.
to be as direct as possible so there is no complications.
Understood. I just want to... If you trust him, I'll trust him.
Yes, sir.
That's really all I have. Do you have anything for me?
Permission to speak freely, sir.
Sure.
I have seen colonels like this before, sir.
May I just say one? I just want to say you are familiar with him by reputation, and his reputation is a brutal urban warfare specialist.
Yes. I have seen colonels like this one before, sir. And if we do not do exactly what he asks, he will bring some sort of repercussion upon us.
I believe this as well. So my plan is very simple. I'm not going to tell you it here because I don't trust that this room hasn't been bugged. We'll talk
Smart,
about
sir.
it along the way.
Yes, sir.
So until then, I plan on completing the mission. And between me, you, and whatever electronic devices are in the wall, I do plan on completing it as intended. I don't like the idea of DBs being here. Magic is something that I think those are forces that people should not have access to.
Yes, sir.
But I cannot come to killing innocents. And I don't believe in guilt by association.
I understand, sir.
So we have two options with that. One is to cover it up well enough and still do our job. Or two is, that which I don't know can't hurt me.
Ah,
But you better be damn good,
yes, sir.
because I do not want this on my conscience.
Understood, sir.
I'm glad we had this talk. And now I need to take a long crap.
Yes, sir.
So the backpack's full. The highwayman is settled. Do I need
Right
to?
about the time that they're done is when you both, around the same time, pull up in your motorcycles.
All right.
All very convenient.
Gentlemen, you are late.
It was more difficult than anticipated. Traffic was difficult, and finding paper was not as easy as I thought it would be.
Lesson number 1. Always take responsibility. You are accountable for your actions. Your only answer is yes, sir. Will not happen again, sir.
Yes, sir. It will not happen again, sir.
Excellent.
But while he's screaming at him, I'm finally gonna traipse out there. I'll wait till you're done saying whatever you have to say, McCool.
No, that's all, sir.
That's it. All right, 48 hours, gentlemen. You understand your mission?
Yes.
Understand it.
Yes.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with. Give them a salute.
Okay.
We'll work on those salutes, but right now that's not important.
Okay.
Gentlemen, here is your map for your destination.
Yeah.
Remember, infiltration, information, return. Godspeed, sons.
Okay. So, out of character, we are meeting coming back to town. We're leaving Greyhop and coming back.
No, you finished getting all your stuff.
Correct.
And then you came back to the headquarters.
Correct.
And
Now
the
you're setting
captain
up-
has decided that we will split from here
Okay.
because a larger contingent going at once could draw attention.
Sure.
2 smaller ones, they could go under the radar, right?
Right.
And it keeps you safer.
Okay. Where would we go to pick up our mega damage stuff? Where would it be stored?
Probably at the
Would
front
be
gate.
all at the APC.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So
Okay.
at the APC, because eventually, if you guys are also leaving and you're leaving in 2 small groups, that you'll find that there are 2 coalition soldiers waiting for you at the APC, and they also have a. It looks like a rectangular chrome metal case, and they explain that it is the thermonuclear weapon. That it's a miniature nuke, so it won't obviously blow the state of Wisconsin away, but it will. They say that it has a 200-foot radius, and they suggest being 300 feet away, even though.
Feet? No.
And they give you a remote that is very self-explanatory. It has an arm switch, and then it has a red button on it. And they explain that if you put this under the rift, sometimes it destabilizes it enough, just enough to knock them out of commission.
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
Don't worry, sir. Luck is one of my skills.
which usually means it won't.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen, you've got your mission. We've got ours.
All right.
So I'll see you back here in 48 hours or
All right.
sooner.
Put my huntsman armor on. Gather all my mega damage. Got a pistol and rifle. And
Oh, one last thing to note is before you take off, if you're not back in 48 hours, we will continue on with our mission.
Fair
understand
enough.
what you understand what that means?
boom.
Very well.
Gotcha. Mhm. All right. Let's go. We head out.
Yeah, it means we probably won't care what happens.
Okay, so run me through real quick what the plan is here. Or is Max and Buck McCool staying in Greyhop, or are you also? Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't mind splitting
staying
as
here
long
for
as McCool's okay. Well, as long as Heathen Dog's okay with it, I don't mind splitting the party for this.
Oh, no,
I think
that's
it'd be a good time to give them something to do and something to shine.
Yeah, but I marked on the map a place close to town, but under covered by terrain
Mhm.
that they are to return to after their mission is over, and we will be there in 48 hours waiting for them.
Gotcha.
And then we'll get all the information we need. It'll be closer to our target, so we'll be able to mobilize faster with this new information.
Oh.
And then we can complete the mission.
Oh, I thought they were going to come back here. Fine, that's fine.
And Carper, David, sorry. You're a scout, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I give you the map. Let's go.
All right. Let's rock and roll.
Boom,
Make
taking off.
a land navigation check for me, Carper.
if you guys get lost on the way there, it's going to be super funny, but it's not going to be exciting.
Nope, we don't.
Oh, I mean,
I rolled a. Not for the lack of trying, I rolled a 59, and my land nav is 60.
So you look at the map and you know that you've been this way before. You haven't passed into this village, but you have been up this way, and there are pretty wide trails, and there isn't a road per se, but there are pretty wide trails that people can and sometimes do move vehicles through. And this is one of the paths to Tokeen from where you are right now. So, and it's very far past the village that you'd be going to. But you are familiar with this neck of the woods, so to speak. And on motorcycles, you should be able to get there actually pretty quickly, probably in about an hour. Based on the fact that you would have to maintain a certain slow speed to account for routes and things like that. Like, it's not a paved road, it's just kind of a clearing that vehicles can go through. But you're on motorcycles a little.
This place is 10 or 15 miles away, so we should be able to take a leisurely pace and get there pretty good.
Yeah. Again, it's not paved, so you do need to kind of go at a slower pace than what the motorcycles are, but you can get there in about an hour.
And the lay of the land, is it basically like you said, it's a trail? Is it going through woods?
It's a lot of rolling hills with little pockets of forest and trees that kind of come over these hills, and then there'll also be pockets of clearing where it's all long grass and shorter grass where there's animals feeding, but it's a pretty uneventful trip on the way there, and it is a pretty smooth drive for the post-apocalypse where there aren't paved roads, just because the ground itself is pretty smooth, aside from the occasional giant root or something like that rises up and you need to kind of go around it. But for the most part, you can maintain a steady speed. And about 50 minutes into your journey, you start to realize that you are coming up on the village, and you are a couple miles away. And before long, when you're about 1 mile away, you get to a point where you can see it. So off in the distance, you come up where, again, there's lots of rolling hills. So the top of one rolling hill can look pretty far across different ones.
Let's get a good vantage point. I'm assuming that being a scout, Carper will lead us that way.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to keep us into the woods as best as possible. If we have to, we can get off our bikes and camouflage it, I think. Try
you
our best.
eventually get to a point where you can see a little nestle of buildings on top of a hill that's probably a little smaller than a soccer field. And immediately beforehand, what draws your eye is there's a giant, probably about 25-foot tall rift suspended above the ground, making it about 30 feet up in the air. But it is a massive rift right in the middle of the town. And you don't have a great look at the town yet. This is all stuff that you can kind of just see immediately. About a mile away, you see a couple watchtowers, a few wooden buildings, very kind of log cabiny, men threw together based on the trees and what was available in the area. And you see, again, the purple, bluish rift just pulsing. And it's only purple and blue on the outsides. In the center of it, it's a very orange color, looking out into an alien sky.
All right. I'm going to do a doodle sketch of the town, marking where the watchtowers are. Can I see guards in them? Anybody in there?
You see guys pretty casually, just one in each tower. You don't see any weapons or anything, and you can see like cigarette smoke, kind of leave one of the towers every now and then. So pretty lax security, it looks like, from where you are.
And how many towers?
You see two.
Two. Okay. All right. So, does it look like anybody's come this where we're at now? Does it look like there's any recent traffic?
You see light tire tracks. They could be a day old, 2 days old, but there's a little traffic that comes through. This looks like if anyone is coming from further north past this village and they're going to Greyhop, this is definitely one of the routes that they would take.
The watchtower, are they at the main entrance of the village?
No, there isn't really an entrance. There's no walls to this settlement. They're just up on a larger hill, so they do have a good vantage point from their watchtowers. And but there is no wall or anything like that you can see. So there's no entrance per se.
Right.
You do see people though walking. You don't really have a good look at them from being a mile away, but you can see, little hints of movement where it looks like people are just kind of walking around in a field or places where there aren't buildings, but nothing exciting is going on. It's all very mundane.
David, how weird would it be if you went in during the day just to visit, or would that be a strange thing, do you think? I mean, are they going to be okay if you go in? I mean, no offense, dude, but you look kind of weird. You might fit right in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they accept DBs, I'm not walking in marching with the CS banners or anything.
Oh, well, you don't have those, right? I mean, that would be
no.
Because if you went in the day, you could kind of just say you're hunting, you're
passing through.
Yeah, and you pick up some food or something and head back out. Maybe go the opposite direction. Take your bike in even, and then just kind of see how they greet you and tell them you're just passing through. And then at night, I could go in and get the details. I'm really good at night.
All right. I think we can pull that off.
You want to try that? Okay, cool. So
yeah.
I'll keep a watch. Game question. By default, does my Wilkes 447 rifle, does it have a guided scope or not? No.
I don't know if the Wilkes by default have scopes. I'm sure they have sights.
Right. It would probably tell me. Okay. I'm just wondering if it would have.
I would say it definitely has a sight. I don't know if it has a scope. I doubt it.
I was wondering if it did. Okay. I was wondering how far I could keep an eye on David as he went into town. So I'll try to set up, kind of a watch if he's going to go in. And I will. I got some jerky or whatever, something to eat on the road, and so I'm going to eat a little bit now and just kind of see how he does as he heads toward the towers. I mean, I'm assuming you're going to head in on your bike, right?
Yeah.
You tell me you're just heading in for supplies, and I mean, I guess there. Yeah, let's give that a try because that way you can just pose as someone passing through.
Yeah. All right. So I'll do that. I'll get on my bike and I'll head on in. I'll go for the area that looks like it would be the main entrance to the village.
So start your bike back up and you start to head towards the city. And I assume that your speed is going to be non-threatening and pretty reasonable as you enter. And as you do, you get closer, you start to see more people walking around. Nothing really of interest starts to happen. You do start to see a number of people wearing kind of like Tusken Raider-esque robes. They have like masks on and weathered robes, and you see a few people uniformly wearing this, but you also see a few people, playing. There's like a kid running around playing with one of them, and nothing threatening at all. And as you get closer, the guy in the watchtower, you obviously take a glance at him. He doesn't look, this one is armed. He does waves right back to you as you head into the city. The motorcycle noise does get a few people's attention, and some of the people in red robes look a little startled, but other than that, nobody seems fazed by your arrival.
Okay. Two questions. One, would my character be familiar with ley line walkers?
Yes.
Okay. So he would know that the people you described with the masks and everything would be ley line walkers?
They're actually not ley line walkers. They might be. They look similar, but they're all obviously wearing a the robe is uniform. So
Oh, okay.
you know, so it's there's a number of people that look like they are from a obviously the same culture, you could say.
Alrighty.
One of them is playing with one of the kids, and the rest of them are kind of just standing around.
Does anybody stand out as like DB?
There are DBs here, yeah. There are a few DBs. It's not the majority of the population, but you do see various humanoid people of various heights that are scales and different sort of textured skins, and some have, you know, cyclopsy, but they're all seem to be kind of assimilated members of what little tiny society we have here.
All right.
But you do see, as you get a little closer in, again, no one's taking any notice of you, but as you do pull in, you see two men with pretty fancy armor on, and they're just standing below a watchtower talking about something. You see one of them kind of pointing over the tree line. One of them is wearing very decorative, like purple armor, and the other one has like a white armor that has some silvery gold looking trimming and detail in it. But and they look pretty fancy and prominent.
All right. Which one seems to be giving orders? Which one seems to be
The
taking
one in the
orders?
purple seems to be the elder of the two. The other one looks probably about half his age.
Okay. And
And as you get closer, they also turn now just to the sound of the motorcycle entering the town. They don't seem threatened by you at all, but they do turn and just look at the newcomer that kind of came in.
all right. Is there a place where like I can kind of park my motorcycle? Is it like, you know, is there
There's
someplace?
horses. There's a few vehicles parked around. You see another motorcycle parked in front of a general goods store. There looks to be what looks like an inn. And,
All right.
you know, the stores there's only like 2 stores, and they all look very functional. You know, supplies for the wilderness, cooking things, supplies, things like that, jerky. Nothing fancy.
All right. Is all right. So I'll go and I'll park my motorcycle at some point away from the general store. You know, not like too far away, but you know,
Like I said, the whole
good
thing is no longer than a soccer field. There's probably about 12 buildings of different sizes. Some looks like there's some communal living based on one of the larger buildings, it looks like.
All right. Well, when I park my motorcycle, I'll find a DB, and speaking in Dragonese, I'll ask if there's some place where I could get some supplies.
Make a Dragonese roll.
And oh yeah, 13.
He gives you a kind of a bewildered look, and then he points right to this store in front of you that has a sign. It doesn't say general store, but it has little images of like hammers and tents and things like that, just random tools going across it. And then, you know, I don't know if you can read, but there is the word store in the middle of all that.
Okay. I'm good. Thank you. Speaking Dragonese, I'll kind of give a head bow and say thank you.
After you do that, he kind of comes around. He's a little more friendly after that, and he tells you that you're welcome and carries on. And you know, his disposition got a lot friendlier after you know.
All right. So I'll go in and I'll poke around. What does the shopkeep look like?
Well, as soon as you walk in, you see a pretty friendly-looking old man. He's just hanging out in a stool in the back, and right away he stands up and greets you pretty warmly as you walk into the city. Says, "What can I do for you?"
Well, I was looking for supplies. Just seeing what you had.
It's all very simple stuff. We can do e-clip charges. We got tents, wilderness gear. Don't have weapons, unfortunately. Nothing major. Hunting rifles. Hunting rifles
What?
are nice.
All right.
Where are you from?
Oh, a few miles west of here. This is actually the farthest east I've ever been.
Well, you got the city of Greyhop a little further southeast from here, southwest from here, and Northern Gun, far off, Tokine, coalition territory. I'd steer clear of that.
So, what's what's with the portal above the center of
The
town?
rift opened on itself a couple of weeks ago. Won't be there for long, though.
Oh,
We hope.
how do you plan on getting rid of that? I thought you had to have magic users to do that.
Well, we got a lunar eclipse coming up in the next few days, I hear, and we got some magic users that are willing to close it for us. Apparently, they just need to wait for that. So we're waiting it out, and the people on the other side, they can't be happier to hear that it's going to be closed soon, too.
When is the next lunar eclipse?
I heard it's about 5-6 days from now.
All right. Well, that's good. From what I've heard, nothing good ever comes out of those things.
No, doesn't seem like it.
All right. So I'll get a box of ammunition that'll fit my Mauser if he has it.
Mauser, is that a German weapon?
Yeah.
He doesn't.
I don't know what caliber. What about arrows? Does he have arrows for a bow?
He doesn't. Striking out here, aren't I?
Yep. Well, you got any rations? Any trail rations?
I can do. I got apricots, carrots, beef jerky.
Oh, I'll take 3 pounds of beef jerky.
3 pounds of beef jerky. He goes to work getting it together. You can smell it from where you are. It looks like high quality jerky. So that's a positive.
All right. What do I owe you?
Rings it up. He has a credits exchange meter, and he rings up about $25 worth of rations for you, or worth of jerky. Sets the credit exchange up properly, and just with a friendly, patient look, just sits there waiting for payment.
All right. So I'll pull out my credit stick. And 25.
25.
All right. All right. Thank you kindly. I'll head out and
goes right back to sitting down in his chair, and there's a little bell as you open the door. As it opens, wooden door closes behind you.
And I'm just going to mosey about town. Okay. Is there any buildings that seem to have these guys kind of guarding the guys in the uniforms?
As you're here longer and you're walking through town, you're starting to suspect that the guys that are in the robes with the sort of mechanical faces are from the Rift, because it looks like there's some bit of awkward cultural exchange going on between the people that are talking and the people in the robes. And as you get to a point where you can kind of see into the Rift, you see that there's a brilliant orange sky inside of it, into whatever dimension that it's leading into. But it looks like right inside is a little village, even quainter and more hut looking than this one. Much less sophisticated, even though the men themselves look like they have some technological progress just in their masks. So their masks look kind of steampunky, despite the fact that they're, you know, it's like a Tusken Raider look with a little more mechanization in the mask aesthetic. So despite the fact that their village on the other side of the rift looks very primitive, they obviously have some technology.
All right. Well, go ahead.
And you also see that the men in the purple and white armor that were below the watchtower pointing out beyond the tree line are now walking through the city.
About roughly the guys in the purple white armor. How many am I seeing?
You only
are
see
they
them.
like
They
all
look,
over the town?
They look very unique, very unique. You don't see any more of them. They, again, decorative armor, shoulder pauldrons. Neither one of them are wearing helmets. They're both handsome men, well groomed.
Human.
Again, one of them looks probably about 15 years older than the other one.
All right. You said that there was a hotel or
there's an inn. Pretty
an inn?
sizable looking tavern. Yep. A lot of horses and a couple of vehicles parked in front.
1 2-story?
2-story. Pretty substantial. About the size of a ski lodge.
Okay. And what's the tallest building here in town?
Probably the inn. Probably the inn. It looks like it has a pretty large attic on top of the second story, and it probably has high ceilings based on what you're looking at outside. So it is a pretty large building, but no bigger than that.
Alrighty. So I'll head to the inn and I'll get a room for the night.
Go in again. People look like they're having a pretty good time inside. They all look like festive, happy folk. You see DBs and humans drinking, and they seem to be getting along pretty well. As you walk in, there's a roar of laughter in the back, not based on anything that you're doing, but you know, just again, people having an abundance of good cheer all throughout the bar. There's waitresses walking around with trays on their hands with meals that smell pretty good, different kind of meats and porks, salted porks and ales, and these people seem to be having a pretty good time, and it's pretty, you know, it's pretty lively, and for no reason other than aesthetic. There's a little fire burning. It is warm. You know, it's not winter time at all, but they have a fire going.
All right. So I'll walk up to the counter or whatever they have and I'll get a room.
All right. He's wiping the inside of a glass, and he walks up to you, asks you what you need. You tell him, and you know, he tells you he can get you a room, no problem. They got lots of vacancies. He calls you friend. As he tells you, it'll be 25 credits, and then he also has his credit machine.
All right.
Tells you it's right up the hall, third door on the right.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much, friend. And I will pay for your room. All right. So I'll go to the room, look around, windows. I guess I should have specified that first.
Yep. You got
all right.
windows. 2 windows and 2 beds.
All right. So I'll get my gear off my motorcycle. I'll bring it up to my room, and I'll bust out my radio. Warren, can you hear me?
You're muted.
Yes, but you can't hear me because I'm dumb. I never get the hang of these things. Sorry about that. Yes. Here, Dave. What's up?
All right. Yeah, this town.
Are you okay? You need me?
Yeah. No. Everything's fine. Everything seems to be chilled. There doesn't seem to be anything anything really amiss.
No one's food. No one's tried to eat you.
Nope. No one's tried to eat me, and no one's tried to. They've all been pretty friendly so far.
Oh, friendly.
Yeah, friendly.
That should go on the report then.
Yeah, it should.
Okay.
They also say that they have plans on shutting down the portal.
They're going to shut it down?
They're going to shut it down. They don't want it up. That's the report. That's what I've been getting.
If they're going to shut it down, How many DBs are down there? Did you get a count?
Not a real good count, but there's a good number of them here. But
15% of the population, probably.
15%.
About 15%, a little under 1 out of every 5 people, probably a DB.
Wow.
So yeah, so not a whole lot, and I think most of them come from the other side of that portal.
Really?
Yeah,
Are they just going to go back through and leave?
that seems to be what they're telling me.
Wow, maybe we should tell the captain. Maybe we don't have to blow this place up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
If they send them home and they're gone, that would be pretty.
Oh, Jesus. Now they're starting to think for themselves.
So what's the plan? I've been drawing the city. You should see my map. It's really cool.
All right. Well, right now I got a room for the night.
Oh, good.
Yeah, there's a little inn here. I got a room. Got a good.
I'll be coming in just as night falls, and
All right.
a quick check around, and then I'll come rap on your window. Assuming I can climb up there, I probably can, and then we'll share information. We'll go from there. I'm going to take a look closer to the. Have you been right by the rift yet?
How close did I get to the rift?
Pretty close enough to see that on the other side. Not only is there is a step stool ladder type thing built, since it's suspended above the air for more easy access down and up, but you can see you got pretty close. You got close enough to see that there's a village, and they have like ladders and crates set up so people can climb in and out of the rift.
Yeah, I got pretty close to the thing, and see on the other side, it's a nice little village over there. The sky's a funny color, but you know.
Yeah, it's probably because of all the magic everywhere. It's probably changed all their skies and everything. Okay,
It could be.
I'll write that down.
All right.
Well, I'll mark it. Skies, magic. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So I'll meet you shortly. When night falls, expect to hear me probably within maybe 3 hours. So don't go to sleep.
All right. No. I'm gonna walk the town a little bit more, see if I can see if I can get some sort of vibe from the place.
Sounds good. Worn out.
All right. See you in 3.
So walking the town, everybody again seems pretty friendly. It looks, the longer that you spend here, the more that you start to pick up from people. And it looks like the people from the other dimension have given them some sort of defense shield that they're really optimistic about. And it looks like it's represented in the form of some sort of technological box, similar looking to the one that, I don't know if you noticed it at the time, but similar to the one that opened the rift that you had to destroy in your first mission. It's just covered in tubes, and you know, it's got a weird sort of aesthetic to it, but it's basically a cube that people are excited about as some sort of defense shield for the town. And before long, what also catches your eye is that the men in the fancy armor, after they've walked the perimeter and you're you know, walking around town, eventually you start to see them practicing sword fighting with 2 psionic swords. So they're basically just sparring, you see, off into the field, but you can see a purple blade meeting a very silvery looking one, and you know, they're going through steps, and it looks like just sparring down in the field together.
All right. I'll make a note of that. Is it the same 2 guys that I saw coming in?
It's the 2 guys that have the fancy armor.
Okay, so it's the same 2 guys. Okay.
Yep.
All righty. Yeah, they're gonna love that. All right. I'm going to take a look at that box, and I'm just going to kind of meander towards it, see how close I can get before somebody says, don't go there.
So no one really does that to you. You get pretty close, and again, you just see that it's basically a rectangular cube. It's got a like a dish in the center of it with a hole. And other than that, you know, it just looks like there's tubes and all sorts of things all around it. Like there's not really much for smooth edges. So it's just a very intricate tube and panel covered rectangle with a dish and a hole in the center.
Oh, all right. Other than that, I'll just keep kind of nosy poking around town, seeing what's what, and just more of the same.
Yeah, it's pretty much more the same. Again, everybody's pretty friendly. You know, everybody that you pass says hello. And, you know, there's not a lot going on. People kind of just tending to their lives, you know, bringing things back and forth between buildings, talking, having conversations. All pretty mundane.
All right. Well, for about an hour and a half, I'm going to do that for about an hour and a half or so. Hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I'll head back to my room and wait for Warren.
Walking around for that long, you can't help but notice that after a while, the sparring kind of gets a little more intense. And when that happens, you can tell that both of these guys are very proficient swordsmen. And that the flashing of lights, similar to like lightsabers, is just a very sort of visual effect that even during the day, you can't help but, you know, take very clear notice of. And they're
could I see those lights from where I'm at even flashing?
Yeah, you would be able to see them in the field as you're kind of going at it. And again, very fluid, smooth motions and arcs. And they really give it to each other in ways that are pretty impressive. You can tell that they're both very proficient in combat and sword fighting.
Carper, there's something going on over there. I don't know if you see those flashing lights and stuff. You should check that out.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Okay. Would I be able to identify if these guys are cyber knights?
I don't know. Do you let's see. What do you have for? Yeah, I guess you would be able to tell at this point. You have a strong suspicion, I guess, that you would say that they're probably cyber knights, or you know, they could be mind melters. They're obviously powerful psionics, but it stands to reason that they're probably cyber knights. Yeah, that is a good guess based on the armor, and you're pretty happy with that.
All right. Okay, well, I'll head back to my room, and when I get back to my room, I was like, Warren, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Be careful coming in. There are 2 cyber knights here.
Do I know what those are?
You probably heard of the name, I'm sure, yeah.
Okay, all right. That sounds dangerous. Okay.
Yeah. You don't piss these guys off.
Okay. Sounds good. So I'm waiting until nightfall, then I'm going to head in.
So finally, nightfall does come, and as the sun kind of goes down, Carper, the tavern starts to get more lively, and you can hear down below you that the people are just very festive, and you just hear laughter, and it just starts to get louder and louder as the outside gets darker and darker, until finally the sun does set, and Warren, you watch it. And as the sun sets, you pull down the mask around your face as it happens all together.
My old friend, and I begin, and I head out. I got my vibro knife. I've got my laser pistol. I'll leave other weapons back. I want to be able to move quick and silently.
All
And I'm
right.
going to head directly at a circuitous route on foot toward that first watchtower.